Look at that beautiful sunset. Such a beautiful evening. Oh, wow. Hi, family. Hi, family. I have another thing that came in my spirit that I want to talk to you about. And if you have experienced this, please share in the comments. Please let me know that it's something real. Okay. I think, I'm not sure if I should say the universe or it's our father or it's our spiritual team. I mean, someone or somehow I think it's the source. It's that divine intelligence, but I think this divine intelligence rewards us every time we spend even a little time trying to tap into our true self. And what do I mean by that? Um, do you under this happen like if you try to meditate? Let's use meditation, and if you're new to meditation, you'll probably find it hard, as I did when it's still hard. Even now, I've probably been doing it probably 6 months or so, just to focus at some moment of time, just to focus for say 5 minutes. But if you sit there and focus for at least say 5 minutes, and you get up, you just feel different. You know, the Bible says the least you do the least you do for me, the least, did you say the least you do is precious in his sight, basically, something like that. The least you do is precious in his sight. And I'm finding out that with spirituality, so if you're here, we're talking about the God time, spending time in that now moment, and that means not just try to focus your mind, not thinking about so many things at the same time, and think about what you have to do next, and what you need to do and what you're going through. You know, I see meditation as constantly be is a time when you're in the God time. And so the God power, that divine source, that divine intelligence within us can do the work, because you know what happened at that time. We're not hindering. The Christ letters tell us that we hinder the movement of the power within us. And if you're new to my channel and you hear me talking about the power within us, yes, yes, I do believe, and I not just believe, I know that there's a divine power that lives within us. And that how I know, by my experience, a divine power that lives within us. And we've been reading the Christ letters, and Christ says, that's his true teaching. That's why he came here, so we can understand the laws of existence. So we can understand the laws of existence. I know what's happening to my throat chakra. A good thing I brought some tea. Yeah. So you can't. That's what Christ's true comment it was about. That we could understand the laws of existence, and that means that we're not solid. We're not solid. We are divine beings. We're spiritual beings. We're multidimensional beings. But the main thing Christ wanted to know, that we are not solid, and there's particles that makes us up, and those particles are the God particles. So that's what Christ is saying. This is the temple of the Most High God. And you need to go within. Anything you need to go within. So back to the universe, or that divine intelligence rewarding us every time we tap into that energy. Every time we tap into that energy, we're rewarded. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. If you this message find you, try it. If you meditate and you're having a hard time, and you stay there until you can, you force your mind. So I wouldn't say, well, you stay there. So you're in a room meditating, and your mind just keep going, and you just force your mind, maybe a minute, maybe maybe a 30 seconds, just to be in that moment. You wake up, and when you walk out of that meditation, you feel different. Today, anywhere you are, just sit there for a minute and quiet your mind. If you're watching this video, just watch this video and pay attention and listen to what I'm saying. Let your mind not go anywhere other than where you at. You train your mind to be in the God moment. And when you do that, when you train your mind to be in the God moment, let me tell you, you'll be rewarded spiritually. You feels different. It's just like it's just like something in your life that just change. That's change. And that's why being in the God time help anxiety, help depression, help healing. And that God time is the same thing we call meditation. That's what meditation was created, for us to focus and tap into that spiritual realm. And another thing came to me about being in the God time is um, is why we're rewarded. Being in the God time, when you're in the God time, you're rewarded. Because guess what? Everything the Bible taught. Everything the Bible taught. Why you're rewarded? Because anything the Bible taught, you allow the source of your being to take full control for 1 second. You know, that's the obedience the Bible talk about. You gave up self, you gave up your ego, and for 1 moment out of, say, a week, a minute out of the week, you gave it to God. You trust in the source of your being. You trust in the source of your being. Because Christ tells us in the Christ letters, listen, you hinder the movement of God within you. And that's what the rebellious house is in the Bible. We hinder it because our thoughts, because we keep going, our thoughts keep going. Worry about this, worry about that. Be in the God moment. Be still. I know that I am God. Train. Everything starts in the mind. Everything is mental. That's one of the law of the universe. That's how we create. And if you listen to me, you're gonna hear me say this all the time. That's how we create the situation that we find ourselves in. All right. So if you're listening to me tonight, tonight, look at that beautiful sunset. If you're listening to me tonight, listen. You are rewarded every time you allow your God self, your true self, that divine intelligence to take full control. And it take full control when we are quiet. When we are not trying to predict the outcome of every aspect of our lives. What that does, we give everything to Him. That's what the Bible talk about. That's all He's talking about. And you give everything to Him. Give it everything. Whatever you find yourself today. You don't have to predict the income. You don't have to predict the ending. You don't have to influence the ending. It's not what you want, because if we're not walking in our true self, we have no understanding of what's best for us. If you want healing, I think Christ said, don't tell God how sick you are. He already know. If you listen to this and you want healing, spend a little time in the God time. Not thinking about your sickness. Just stay in the moment. I know it's hard to say not to think about your sickness. Sometimes our toes hurt us and we can't even stop thinking about it. But be in the God time. Be in the now time. Be in the now time and watch how you are being rewarded. Watch how you are being rewarded. Sit in nature. Sit in nature. Nature, there's a lot of energy around. Just sit in nature and focus on the trees. Focus on this tree for 1 minute and not allow your mind to go anywhere else. That little minute, that time you give to God, you gave all to God and say, God, you do it. That's what being in the God time is. And that's how we're rewarded. And we're rewarded in that our energy expand. Our energy expand. The goal for us is for our energy to expand and the self to shrink. But when and this matter, we call it matter, we call it self, or we call it ego. The goal is for energy to expand and this to shrink. Not get rid of, to shrink. But when we predict and when we try to control the outcome, when we try to just thinking about what next and what next and how we're going to do this and and allow self to get over it, then this expand, then matter expand and energy shrink and that's where sickness comes, that's where lack comes, that's where everything comes. But just a minute, you're rewarded by your energy expanding. And then you're saying, God, take full control. That's what you're saying without even saying the words. That's what you're saying. God, Father, take full control. Higher self, lead and guide. Without even saying it with words, but when you're quiet and when you're not thinking about everything else around you and just be in this moment, close your eyes and just be in that God time. And remember, God time is this now time, this quiet time, quiet in your mind. All right, everybody, I'm going to go back to enjoying my beautiful sunset. Beautiful. I hope you can see it. So be blessed, everyone. Be blessed. Remember, you're spiritual beings. You're not this flesh you're looking at when you look in the mirror. Listen, you have the divine source, the divine intelligence going on around here. Tap into it. Tap into your divine source. Tap into that divine energy. He's calling us. His hands is almost stretched out. His hands is always stretched out. That's what the Bible said. He's calling us, but we've been rebellious. We are that rebellious people, rebellious children. We are. Because we ignored the divine power within us. We hold his hand because we're doing our own thing. We're influenced by beliefs. We're influenced by our own understanding. We're influenced by our thoughts going all over the place, trying to make it in this world. Just be in the God time. And that when your mind is quiet, as I say it again, and when your thoughts are quiet, just focusing on how beautiful the sunset is today. That one moment, you said, okay, God, lead. And that one moment, you're saying, okay, God, lead. And you will be rewarded. You will be rewarded. And not how you think you will. You're rewarded. You're rewarded spiritually. God bless everyone. God bless.